Racing, Crumble Manelli away fairly, Kanyamia flew out, pushing up Hinto, fourth and wide Nangar Bubbles, then came Runaway to Mars, solidified well back with King Tommy and Sandpatch. Crumble Manelli led by 4, Hinto, railing strongly, looking really good. Then Nangar Bubbles, Kanyamia, King Tommy winding up, but Hinto ran to the lead. Hinto dropped off Crumble Manelli, Nangar Bubbles, King Tommy flies late, but it's Hinto's Mandurah Cup.
That was the Mandurah Cup and Hinto successful. This is the Wednesday preview. I'm Hayden King, back with you for another week. Unfortunately, James Broadhurst not with us this time. No doubt he'll be back fit and firing soon. But what a fascinating race that turned out to be, the Mandurah Cup last week, and a deserved result. Hinto running riot from halfway to produce an emphatic victory. King Tommy was ginormous in defeat. He went out on his shield for sure. A couple of really good runs in behind as well, but no more deserving winner than Hinto, and he did what he had to on the night, and he's the new track record holder down there at Mandurah. We go to Cannington though this week for our feature races. The Anniversary Cup heats are races 4 and 5 on the program. Really looking forward to those. And then later on, I'll have a look at a race down there at Mandurah on Friday as well I want to take a brief glance at. However, we're going to start off with our Saturday program. This is race number 4 on the cards here. Our first heat of the Prime Trophies Anniversary Cup. Custard Manelli has box number 1 and was dynamic, scoring over the short course there at Mandurah last start. That was 400 metres. This looks much tougher here. However, he did position up reasonably close and the time was pretty good. Expect to see him in the firing line. Sunset Mirage ran the arms off the clock there at Mandurah last week. I was really keen on Agent 11, but Sunset Mirage went much better than I thought that dog could and was able to get the money there and did that in good style. Steps up here though. Ripon Tomahawk in the twilight of his career would need to lift. Hinto, it's not often you get a dog that's a feature race winner at his last start and he's going to go around at an attractive price. That's exactly what we're going to get here on Saturday night. He's going to be each way odds and he's far from out of this race. In fact, he's in this up to his ears. He comes in the right form. He just needs a bit of luck from box 4. Roman Blazer, just want to see a little bit more from this dog into his West Australian campaign before I get too excited about him, particularly in a race with this level of depth. Weston Booney, who was unlucky last time out in that heat of the Mandurah Cup, can he find some more luck this time? He'd certainly become a factor if he could show all that early speed that we know he's got on occasions. Spider Venom able to break through last start. It'll be a big odds in a race like this. And King Tommy, who could not have been a bigger run in defeat. It's not often you'll see a dog go so well but still be vanquished, but that was the case for him in the Mandurah Cup. He was so far off the lead and he was making up ground hand over fist, finishing like an absolute cannonball. He's going to take beating. We know his running style means he'll get back, rely on that little bit of luck in running, but if he gets it, he's going to take no end of holding out. For obvious reasons, he and Hinto probably looked the big two in the race, and given the SPs of the Mandurah Cup, you probably lean the way of King Tommy, especially back to Cannington, but that's far from ruling Hinto out of the first heat of the Anniversary Cup. Second heat is also very perplexing indeed. It's race number 5, the Auto Als Bentley Anniversary Cup heat, and Sage Tennille makes a return to Cannington here. Let's go back and take a look at this replay where she was at Sandown last time out in a heat of the Melbourne Cup. We see her begin just okay, but she shows a heap of early dash to muster up and sit just off them, and she's in a really striking spot and threatening to make some really good progress as they enter the back straight. And just as she begins to finesse down to the inside and look for a run behind Make No Promise and Navarino, she gets chopped out, loses vital momentum, and has to regather her poise, pick herself up, by which time the other two have established a march, and it proves significant on the run to the judge where she can manage only third. But you could argue, had she got that little bit of luck coming off the back straight, she's a clear winner of that race, and she's in the Melbourne Cup this week instead of here at Cannington. It makes a massive difference. However, we get the privilege of seeing her this Saturday, and she's going to take a stack of beating. Gets box 1. Gee, I'm really in her corner here. Inside Scoop is going tremendously well immediately next door. Has been able to utilise wide boxes in the past. Now drawn low. Needs to show some early speed to get up there competitive from the outset against a lineup like this. Columbus Manelli really unlucky last time at Mandurah. I could see this dog being a big improver in a race like this, but does need that luck in running, because we also know although he has been showing some more speed recently, traditionally is a get-back run-on kind of dog. Go See Katoni certainly in the opposite category has all that early speed. While she might not be the strongest, can be up there from the outset. Crumble Manelli, I guess he hasn't been beginning as well as he can in recent times. Although he's been able to muster up and find the lead, he's been that half a beat slow just out of the boxes, and that's proven significant, and it might have been costing him stealing an unassailable march as opposed to a march that is readily able to be chipped into and then he's able to be beaten. If he could ping straight to the front, he'd give them something to aim at, that's for sure. Granite Song comes back in trip, led up last time over the 600. We know he'll produce an honest showing. That's the key word with Granite Song. He's an honest performer. Cat Shoes drawn wide, probably needs a bit to go his way to be winning the race, but there's no doubt he'll be in the mix. And Carla Cat up drawn in box number 8, another that has early speed, but it's going to be a tough ask to get across from there, particularly when you line up against a dog like Crumble Manelli and even to a lesser extent Go See Katoni. I really like Sage Chanel. Gets box number 1. She's going to take so much beating here on Saturday. Just needs to balance up close enough and look for her to be sweeping past them in that final 150 metres. That's Saturday's program of racing. I'm now going to go back to Friday. I've looked at this race here and I think it's an interesting one for us to take a glance at. That's race number 5 and it's over the 652 metres. Last start winner, Warm Regards, was exceptional in victory. Came from well off the pace and continued to grow the margin once she hit the lead and absolutely bolted home by a great margin there over the 652 at Mandurah last start. I see no reason why Warm Regards won't go on with it and do it again. Others in the race, well, most of the field in truth, are reopposing from that 652 metre race. You've got Cindy's Pride, who actually should benefit stepping up to the trip. Dandel Abdullah, who comes through that Warm Regards race, was that half a tick slow early. If this dog can begin better, I could see it becoming something to aim at for Warm Regards, but if Warm Regards is within shouting distance, it becomes hard. Penny Magic comes here from Cannington. Was a gutsy showing there, really had to grind that out and stave them off in a blanket go, but did the job. Can be a pace angle here. Saganaki Kid comes from that race, as did Clifton Isla, Clifton Matilda. Clifton Matilda was pretty good when running second after setting the early pace in that race. I'd probably take her of those 3. Dandel Abdullah's probably the other one you'd want to take out of that race against Warm Regards, but in saying that, I'm firmly in Warm Regards' corner. And Craving Cuna, who would need to lift on that Cannington showing from last start, does look Warm Regards' race to lose, really. Bigger field might make it a little more difficult for a get-back run on dog, but on the strength of that previous showing, you'd have to be a hard man to say Warm Regards won't be winning race number 5 at Mandurah on Friday night. That's the program of racing we've got coming up Friday, Saturday. Tonight, though, racing begins at 6:36. We've got 12 races on the card, and I'm sticking fat with one of my favourites. Race 6, number 8, Sunset Comanche. He's going to win one soon. He went 29.67 last week and he was beaten. That is so rare that you will ever see that, particularly for a dog in novice grade. Again, gets box number 8. I think he can utilise that. Build up ahead of steam. No interference. And he should be too good for them. He's just bumped into a freak his last couple. This looks his big chance to have his day in the sun. And in truth, I don't think he's that far off the kennel mate who's beaten him his last 2. He just probably doesn't have the racing nous just yet. He'll win tonight. Race 6, number 8, Sunset Comanche. Good luck if you are playing. Really looking forward to the anniversary cup heats. A couple of different permutations there to what we've seen in the Mandurah Cup, which is always exciting. Good luck, punters. See you next week on the preview.